This is Rock Leach with Social Fire. Okay, everybody's been talking about Bishop Fernandez, Henry Fernandez, firing Dr. Joel Tudman. And let's be honest, most people are quick to point the finger at Bishop himself. But what if I told you Bishop might not be the real problem here? What if the decision didn't come from the pulpit at all, but from the boardroom? Yeah, see, we're so busy looking at one man that we might be ignoring the something else is pulling the strings behind the scenes. Stay with me because what I'm about to show you could change the whole way you see this situation. You don't want to miss this video.
Social fire, we don't play. Rock Leach bringing the heat all day. Faith on fire, no mask, no leash. Fire in his voice, yeah, I rock.
He the voice for the ones that the church forgot. He bring truth to the light, whether liked or not.
Let's get straight into this content. I want to show you something really quick, and let's get into this right quick. Let's go.
Thank God. You are like my third son, and I mean that from my heart. I remember I was driving down the highway after I wasn't sure if you were the guy. I wasn't sure if God was going to select you. And in my car, I heard God as clear as day. And he said, he's the man. And I said to the executive board, I said, this is what God told me. If we just step back and let God have his way, absolutely.
Listen to this. He said to the executive board, why would he have to say this to the executive board? I'm going to back up just a moment. Look at this.
And he said, he's the man. And I said to the executive board, I said, this is what God told me. If we just step back and let God have his way, absolutely.
If we just step back, let's go.
Everything will work out fine. Believe me, we did it right. The people got to love you. I truly believe in your gifts. I see the talent. You study the word of God.
There are not many men like this that will turn around and say, take this. I've not seen.
And I told you I don't want it back.
He told me, I do not want it back. I do not want it. He told me that.
Now listen, what I was doing here is that and I got that video from Prophet Manasseh. Now I don't believe in him at all. He out here with these robocalls and stuff like that, scamming people. But anyway, he had the video, so I used his video. And so what I'm gonna do is show you this right here because it looks like, so what we did, I'm gonna explain to you what we did. Stay with me, because I'm gonna show you something. What we did was that we went across all of the social medias because we could not figure out why would he lean so hard into, I want him here. God told me I want him. That's all over the internet. Bishop Fernandez would not stop saying it. He put him on his podcast. Everywhere he went, he kept saying, this is my son. This is who's next generation pastor right here. This is who God told me. God told me. And these kind of moments that we see, these intimate moments, I just don't see in these moments where it looked like he was being counterfeit, phony, or anything like that. I believe he really heard God, and he believed he heard God. But sometimes the leader might think, I would rather wound you for a season than watch you be destroyed for a lifetime. Let's go further. Why is everyone, I want you to look at this right here. Why is everyone inside of this, Bishop Fernandez included, giving scripted responses? Joel Tudman responded and gave a scripted response. Why was he leaning in so heavy on parading Dr. Joel Tudman? He was parading him around everywhere. He was leaning in hard. It's almost as though Bishop Fernandez had an agenda to make the world know what his decision was and that he heard from God so strong so it couldn't be interfered with by another entity. Why has Dr. Tudman been scrubbed from the church's website and social media, but not scrubbed from Bishop Henry Fernandez podcast? Why is that? Could it be because Bishop Fernandez controls his own podcast and the church controls the social medias and the website? Could it be? Do y'all see what I'm drawing here? Bishop Fernandez, for those of you that think that this is about clout, he got rid of him because he was filling up the church. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. I don't believe that he's jealous because as far as numbers go, he's got more numbers than Dr. Joel Tudman. I mean, his IG alone has 1 million followers. I'm going to tell you what I believe is going on here. I believe that the board behind the scene did not like this transition. I believe they saw that their power was going to be taken away from them. And what happened is Bishop Fernandez had to step in to go ahead and say, I don't want you all to destroy him for the rest of his life, for him to be dealing with this for the rest of his life. So we're going to go ahead and let him go. So you give him his pension, go ahead and give him the money, all of that. I may not pension, but severance is what I meant to say. Give him all of that, let him go, because his family done moved all the way over here. If you notice, I want you to notice in the words that were being given, Bishop's words about the board, about the board, Bishop Fernandez said, these are his exact words. The church is not run by one man. Listen to that. That's what he said. Y'all go back and look at it. He said, there is an executive board that I am accountable to. This is what he said inside of his statement. He went even further and said, even though I am the founder, I have submitted my authority, my life, under the authority. He said, I have submitted my life under their authority. And then he added, trust my leadership. Y'all go, it's right there in our face. It is right there in our face. Finally, he told the congregation, while you may not be given reasons, be careful of your assumptions. Could he have meant that it's not me, it's not Joel, it's the folk behind the scene that y'all don't see that was giving us problems, afraid that they were going to lose their power. Now, why does this matter? Because those statements elevate the board's authority and minimizes his own role as founder. That's not casual language, y'all. That's telling you the board isn't just in the room, it's in the driver's seat. I need y'all to hear me. Let's go here right here. Boards in churches don't just advise, they actually control. If board members have different visions for the church, for the church's future, if they had concerns about Tudman's leadership or direction, if they had personal alliances with Fernandez that outweighed Tudman's input, it could easily create tension that boiled over into conflict. Listen, boards can become gatekeepers rather than partners. I want to make sure y'all hear that. Leadership, and I want to get y'all into this right here. Leadership transitions themselves are messy. Transitions in churches are it's always going to be some drama with transition. If y'all been in church long enough, y'all know it's used. People, I'm talking about even when the pastor done been dead and gone. He dead and gone, the new pastor, everybody like, oh, he don't do it like, Reverend said, man, woman, whatever. The pastor's dead and gone in heaven, and y'all still comparing him. Got this evil dichotomy going on and won't give the new person a chance. There are power struggles. People loyal to the founder don't always accept the successor. There are cultural clashes. Tudman's preaching style, his decisions, even his pace of change may have rubbed against the board's expectations. Y'all, they went from one service to 2 services. Sent out a letter to the members, according to what I've been told, sent out a letter that came by email the day before he was supposed to preach. Who does that? Who does that? So you got folk that actually showed up, didn't get the email in church, wondering what in the world have happened. Folks sitting there whispering, looking at this stuff. And there's fear of losing control. Boards sometimes sabotage a new leader if they sense their influence is slipping. And remember, Tudman wasn't in place long. Only 5 months looked like. That screams friction, not failure. So the biblical lens, I got to give you some Bible here. Then I want to show you something else. I want to show you what Bishop Fernandez's true goal is. We were able to find out based on his pattern of behavior what his true goal is. So I got to give you a look at this through a biblical lens. Acts chapter 6 shows us a conflict between leadership and practical needs of the people. The apostles solved it by appointing spirit-filled men, not by secret board meetings. When boards move in secrecy or politics, they look less like Acts 6 and more like the Pharisees, protecting their position instead of God's mission. James 3:16 warns us, where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder and every vile practice. Do you hear me? If the executive board was driven by control, ambition, or loyalty politics, then yes, they could have caused these problems. And I just want to make sure we call this out. You listen, I want to show you this right here. I want to give you some more signs the board was a factor. The firing was quick. It was unexplained. Fernandez leaned on the board structure to justify the move instead of offering biblical transparency. And the congregation was, it was confusing, which suggests the decision wasn't fully in harmony, just rushed. So yes, I believe the board is the real problem here. And that was the force that was going on here. I want to show y'all something with Bishop Fernandez. Bishop Fernandez really, based on the pattern of behavior, how he's doing his social media, he was really trying to get into moving out into the social media space. I want y'all to look. We went back all the way back through his channel, all the way back to the beginning when he was posting preaching videos. Basically what he was doing, not many views, different things like that. He got one video with 181 views. I mean, it's standard YouTube channel, when it starts. But there was a shift that happened about a year ago. Look where the jackets changed. Jackets and stuff start changing. He started interviewing about a year ago. He started interviewing actual influencers. You will look here, and if you look closer right here in the corner, this is where Joel Tudman started being a part of the podcast. Thumbnails are changing, showing emotion on here. I'm talking about he's leaning into it. Got different influencers on here. Right after he had Joel on here, he also had the podcaster from Dear Future Wifey. I mean, he's got a lot of influencers that are on here. And they were really building this up. I'm talking about building it, numbers changing and everything. So it looks like Bishop Fernandez is wanting to really step out of that. You've got different pastors who stepped into the podcasting sphere, and that became what they did. Some pastors, and I'm going to tell you from my own experience, it is not an easy thing to pastor a church. You are responsible for folks' souls. And also their dysfunctions. Y'all don't nobody want to talk about that. We love it when they praising you. Oh, pastor, you're just so anointed. You're just so this and that. But when they're out of control, that's your responsibility too. And I'm telling you this, a lot of pastors know when to get out. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. And so you have Pastor Tim Ross, who was pastoring a successful church there in Irving, Texas, and God moved on him to give the church up and to go all the way into podcasting. He has a podcast now called The Basement Podcast. Now, he is still preaching. He's still doing the podcasting. He's sharing his life experiences. He's got about close to 400,000 subscribers over there, I believe, on his YouTube channel. And his YouTube channel is massive. I'm just saying, his podcast is massive. Not only the YouTube channel, but it's, Spotify and all of that. And he took the step to step out there. Now, there are a lot of pastors that are seeing this digital space, digital evangelism, as the way to go, because you don't have the weight of having to carry people as strong as you do at a traditional brick and mortar church. And I believe, based on what we see here with his YouTube channel and the podcast and stuff, that's the direction that he's wanting to go. Now, I don't know. There are a lot of things that we can say with this whole situation. I mean, the way it unfolded looked like organizational control than pastor care. So here's the bottom line, because I believe that this was all pushed forward by the board. I believe this whole thing was the board. The board is faceless. Don't nobody know who the board is. But I can tell by these scripted responses, because Joel Tudman didn't call out Bishop Fernandez's name. Neither did Bishop Fernandez call out his name. I mean, he basically said that he wasn't going to be there, but they kept it real scripted, as though they were following directions. I'm just saying. So the board held authority over Bishop Fernandez. Even as the founder, he withheld specifics, urged trust, and discouraged speculation. I mean, all of these kind of things right here, y'all, just sounds like it's the board that's in control doing this whole thing. But I want to know ultimately, what do you think about it? Because I know we want to blame them back and forth, but typically in church, folk don't mind calling names. If somebody did somebody wrong, it's not a problem to say who the problem was here. But what about when the people who are actually doing this are faceless? We don't see them, but we see what they're doing. And so I believe in this whole thing, we need to pray for everybody, but we need to call a spade a spade. This is what it is. And so I want you to meet me in the comments and let's talk about it. Let's go.
Social fire, we don't play. Rock leech, bringing the heat all day. Faith on fire, no mask, no leash. Fire in his voice, yeah, rock.
He the voice for the ones that the church forgot. He bring truth to the light, whether liked or not.